Happy Canada Day, Nerdfighters!
In honor of Canada Day, I'd like to provide a bit of a condensed history of the Canadian flag. The national flag of Canada is recognized by many as a tri-band flag with red on the outer two bands and white in the middle, with a red maple leaf in the center of the white section. The flag stands out, both in Canada and abroad, as one of the most striking and recognizable symbols representing the country. The search for a national symbol and a national flag for Canada dates back to the 19th and 20th centuries, though the flag as we know it today emerged from significant social transformations in the 1950s and 1960s, leading up to the 100th anniversary of Confederation in 1967. There are specific protocols that apply to the national flag of Canada, all listed on the Government of Canada's website. There were several early flags used before the iconic maple leaf flag. Ever since the first Europeans came to Canada, there have been many flags used, each with their own purpose and origin. One of the first ones, the Union Jack, was used both before and after Confederation in 1867, showcasing its ties to the British Empire. Another British flag used in Canada was the Red Ensign, which was officially a naval flag and used by Canadian ships starting in the 1890s. As a combination of the Union Jack and the Shield of Canada, it has been used unofficially both at sea and on land since the 1870s and was widely recognized as a national symbol. There were many versions of the flag that included additional elements, such as wreaths of maple leaves, crowns, and beavers. The shield itself was modified to include the arms of the provinces as they joined Confederation. During the First World War, the Canadian Red Ensign became a popular patriotic emblem. Beyond a new coat of arms, many Canadians also wanted a new, distinctive Canadian flag to represent them. Appeals for such a flag increased steadily in the early 20th century. However, creating a new flag is no easy feat. Attempts were made to consider possible designs for a national flag, but the project was shelved not once, but twice by Prime Minister William Lyon Mackenzie King, mainly due to fears that the issue might lead to political instability. Following World War II, public opinion grew in favor of a new national flag, but the nation was divided over the issue. Canadians had fought and died under the Union Jack and the Canadian Red Ensign, resulting in a strong attachment to both of these flags. In 1960, Canada's leader of the opposition, Lester B. Pearson, declared that he was determined to solve the issue he called the flag problem. To him, the issue was critical to defining Canada as a unified nation. As the newly elected Prime Minister in 1963, Pearson promised to resolve the question of a new national flag in time for Canada's centennial celebrations in 1967. A committee was formed and given a 6-week deadline to submit a recommendation for a flag. Debate within the committee was fierce, with some wanting to keep the symbols that tie the country to its colonial roots, and others wanting to define the country with new symbols. This period was known as the Great Flag Debate. A few thousand designs were considered, many of which were submitted by Canadians. 3 finalists were chosen. The first one was the Pearson pennant, which consisted of a stem with 3 red maple leaves on a white background and a blue bar on each side. The second one was a design with a central maple leaf, the Union Jack, and the historical Royal Banner of France, consisting of a blue background with 3 golden fleur-de-lis. The third one was George Stanley's single maple leaf design, which we recognize today. In October 1964, the Flag Committee voted in favor of Stanley's single leaf design. 2 months later, the flag earned the approval of the House of Commons, followed shortly after by the Senate. The persuasive leadership of John Matheson, one of the committee's preeminent members, is often credited with achieving consensus within the committee and helping to end the Great Flag Debate in Parliament. On January 28, 1965, the new maple leaf flag was made official by a proclamation from Queen Elizabeth II. Just over 2 weeks later, on February 15th, it was inaugurated in a public ceremony on Parliament Hill. As thousands of Canadians watched, the Canadian Red Ensign was lowered and the new national flag of Canada was hoisted. Prime Minister Pearson's words on the occasion resound with hope and determination. May the land over which this new flag flies remain united in freedom and justice, sensitive, tolerant, and compassionate towards all.